Hello. Good evening. It's, it is Thursday, August the 24th, 23. I got some background going here. Let me see. There we go. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to the Conscious Creators ToolBox for tonight's session, Thursday, August the 24th, 2023. Welcome to our live broadcast on our YouTube channel. Welcome to our YouTube channel. And I'm going to ask you, if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel. I ask you if you would so kindly hit that subscribe button and just subscribe. It's free. No charges. It just kind of helps us, build our community and get kind of get out there. So anyway, join us, subscribe to it, and share the channel, share the information, share us and comment and give a message. Give us a comment here and there. Give us a thumb up. We're doing good. And give us a thumb down if that's the case, and let us know what that's all about. You turn this down. I am so sorry. I'm listening to. I think it's Sinead, but we have no rights to her music. We don't, but we enjoy it. We enjoy it. We like that. We enjoy it. But we want YouTube to know that we have no rights to the music. I'm not trying to take it over, take it, just enjoying it. Enjoying it. All right. I think I've got my microphone going. I think it looks like it's going. Is my microphone going? Hello. There. I think that's better. Maybe you can hear me now. Down. Yeah. So anyway, welcome to the next session. And let's see what we talk about. I kind of got some new things going, got some announcements to make and share some things with you. Let's see if I can get reverberation back, awesome back. Let's see if I can do my headset on. Get it that way. Okay, there we are. So anyway, again, welcome. I'm Jean Aaron, and I keep hearing some background. I'm not sure where I'm getting that noise from. I think I kind of know where it's coming from. Is that better? That's probably better. Yeah. Okay. I had too many windows open here. But anyway, here we are. Here we are for another session of the Conscious Creators ToolBox. We're going to be here tonight for hopefully not too long. But I have some things I wanted to share with you. I got some announcements to make. First of all, I'd like to let you know that we are kind of changing our platform a little bit, changing things up a little bit. I've been in conference, if you would, and commune, kind of hanging out with my spiritual team, and we've been working on kind of changing gears a little bit, changing our direction somewhat. We're still all about, discovering, identifying, and exploring our creativity, our creative tools, those things that we use to manifest our lives. We're still going to be into manifestation and encouraging you to be the creator and the master manifestors that you are. I'll get it right here. But we are switching up a little bit. We've decided that we're going to kind of move into the spiritual realm a bit. It's a partnership. I get, and I personally think they're one and the same. But my spiritual team has kind of given me the go ahead, or moving, or kind of shifting, helping me shift gears a little bit and moving on into more spirituality, uh, more so with a focus more so on our spirituality, um, but not leaving out creativity by any means, because they're one and the same in my opinion. They haven't convinced me quite yet that you can have one without the other. I personally don't think that you can have one without the other. It's part of the dimensional person, individual, and entities that we are. We are multidimensional. We are a lot more than we even know what we are. But I'm still about identifying those creative tools, those tools in your toolbox, those things that make you who you are, and give you all the ability and all the power and the skill and the know-how to manifest and create your reality and your destinies and your lives, and make your dreams come true. You are indeed the operant power of your life. If it wasn't for you, the individual, there wouldn't be a world for you. There wouldn't be a life for you. But you are the operant power. You make all the things, all of the everything about your life. You bring it into being. You create it. You manifest it. You experience it. You are you like I said. You're the operant power. And operant power means that you're the power behind who you are, what you see, what you do, what you experience. All of your experiences, you are totally responsible for it. And one of the things that the spiritual team has really impressed upon me is helping you understand, helping getting the word out and helping us understand who we are, what we are, whose we are. And we're not just a one dimensional being. We are a multi-dimensional being. And I think that the team wants me to really expand my scope, my attention, because I'm growing. We're growing. We're all growing. We're evolving. We're evolving into more and more and more understanding, more and more knowledge, more and more know-how, more and more um, mastery of who, what, and whose we are. So I'm going to still be talking about that absolutely every week. I'm going to be reminding you that who you are, what you are, and whose you are. Every single week, or every time you see me, I'm going to be talking about how you are responsible and how you are the operant power, how you are the master manifester of your experiences of your life and your dreams. And I'm going to hopefully share with you my experiences and the things that I go through, and what my spirit guides and my spirit team share with me, and help me open me up and help me understand and see. We're still one and the same, one God, one Father, one Lord, and we're all connected. We are one. We are one. So like I said, you're gonna be hearing a little bit more about my personal beliefs. Um, a lot of people ask me and say, you don't talk about your beliefs as much. I don't do. I thought I did. I thought that you understood that I am who I am, because I'm just like you. I am an unrestricted, unlimited created being, created by my source, by God, by our Father, by divine uh, creator. I'm and I can do and have and be in that all that I can do. And I can have and do and be all that my Father and my Creator and my source can do and be. And I'm endowed. I inherited all that, all the creativity, all the creative abilities and creative powers were part of my inheritance, like you. We can do when we are that. And I'll definitely be talking about that. But again, we're moving a little bit more into, opening a little bit more up into the understanding of that spirit part of us, source part of us, because that's what source is. That's what creator is. That's what God is. That's what Father is. Father is spirit. Father is spirit, and we worship. We worship in spirit. We worship in spirit, and we worship in truth. So we're going to be talking a little bit more in that vein, going forward in that. So you'll probably be hearing a little bit more about that going forward. Also wanted to announce that, again, we are going to be, we have a presence on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and they're all Team Conscious Creators. Again, we'd love to have you and be a part of all of those venues. You are part of our community. If you're part of, if you exist, if you come in and visit and join us here on our YouTube channel, you're part of the community. If you join and take part in our Facebook group page, you're part of our community, our family. So, and Instagram, so just join us, just kind of be there with us and high five us, leave us messages, leave us comments, leave us remarks, let us know what we're doing. Let us know what you want to, let us, ask us questions, share those questions with us. I am a life coach by profession, and I'm going to say profession because it's part-time. I'm retired, so I get to play and have fun. But I do a little life coaching. I have I have a minimum number of clients because I try to leave myself a lot of flexibility so I can travel, have a little fun, hang out with the grandkids, and just enjoy life. But I do take a few clients. I think I have a couple of openings right now. So if you're looking for a life coach that kind of focuses on creativity, helping you with those creative projects that you're working on, or ironing out some of your limiting beliefs if you're having trouble with creating and manifesting and making things happen in your life, or taking control of your creativity and your manifestation skills and abilities. Those are some of the things that I kind of focus my attention on, so I can help you with that. You can reach me on, message me, inbox me on the Facebook page, leave me a message here on the YouTube channel as well as Instagram. Or if you want to reach me on the website, it's www.teamconsciouscreators.com. You can reach me on my website, and also my email is info@jeanaaron.com. So just reach out if there's anything at all that I can answer or help you with, or give you some coaching on, or some encouragement, or motivation, or kind of spoon feeding you with some inspiration. I'll share some of mine with you. So just reach out and let me know. We're going to Hawaii. Yes, we are. We're almost 30 days in. We're going to be going to Hawaii October the 22nd. We're going to be 6 beautiful days. 6 beautiful days in Hawaii during the week of October the 22nd, I believe. And we're going to Oahu. Now, we know that Hawaii has been been recovering from the fires, the wildfires, past month or so. But we're not going to be going to Maui. Maui's where the fire was. But we're going to be going to Oahu. So, and we still have, I've already made my reservations. I've already booked and reserved my room. So I'm ready to go. I'm just kind of like keeping my eyes out and trying to find me a nice, reasonable flight, fare on a flight to get over there. But we're getting ready to go. We're getting ready to go. But we do have a couple of spots left. We actually got plenty of spots left. So if you want to go with us, come on and go. Right now, there's probably, I think there's 2, 4, 6 of us that's kind of like tied in to go, and hopefully we get a couple of more. And we have a nice little have some fun over there. Beautiful fun over there. Looking forward to that. If you're interested in that, again, you can get that information from me, or you can drop me an inbox me on Messenger, inbox me on Facebook, or here on the YouTube channel, or again, info@jeanaaron.com, or you can leave a message on the website. And if you want any additional information about that trip, just let me know. Just let us know. We'll get you. We'll get you all the information so you can start booking that flight and reserving those rooms, and getting an idea of all of the wonderful excursions and things and activities and retreat activities. It's things that we're planning to do over there. We're gonna spend some time, loving on one another through some of our own services, our light works that we do. Most all of us are pretty much light workers, so we're gonna be doing some Reiki on each other. We're gonna be, doing some yoga stretches and learning how to use herbs for medicinal and just health reasons, health care, and growing them, learning some things about how we can, put some on the sill, in the window sills, and grow our own herbs, and finding out those things in the kitchen that we can use for home remedies. Yeah, we gotta have some things going on. We got an acupuncturist that we're gonna be, visiting, and get some needles stuck in our backs, and getting some, getting us some of those, some of that stress taken care of in our back, and learning about our chakras. And we're gonna have some, I don't know, we're gonna have some yoga classes. We're gonna have some crystal. We're learning a little bit more about crystals and how we can use crystals in our in our spiritual practices, and in our light work and Reiki. We're gonna be doing a lot of little things, and of course, we're gonna visit and tour around, and have all types of excursions in Hawaii. So if you're interested in it, just let me know. We'd love to have you come and join us on a 6 day retreat in beautiful Paradise Island of Oahu, Hawaii. So that's that. Let's see. What else? I think that's all the announcements that I have. Yeah, 15 minutes in. So let me talk a little bit. About what we're going to be doing, what we're moving toward, what we're moving into going forward. Again, we're going to, of course, be talking about who, what, and whose we are. It's always going to be the thing, because that's what Conscious Creators ToolBox is all about. That's who we are. We're creators. We cannot not create. So we're going to continue to talk about that. But one of the things that the spiritual team and the spirit guides we've been kind of going back and forth on, and opening it up, kind of getting a better understanding, getting more understanding, and focus on who we are, understanding who we are. I think that the word was, the more we know about who we are, the more we know about the authentic beings that we are, the better beings we can be. Whether, whatever it is that we're doing, or we're wanting to bring into our lives, or we want to experience, those experiences will be just so much better if we get a better grasp on who we are. So we're kind of backing up, kind of taking a couple of steps back, not too far back, because we don't have too far back to go, but we're taking some steps back, and we're going to be looking at who we are, talking about who we are. In fact, tonight's message, and probably the next 4 or 5 weeks, we're going to be talking about who we are. And we're going to be asking the question. And my question to you is, do you really know who you are? Do you really know who you are? Maybe put it a different way. Do you know who you really are? That's what I think. Do you know who you really are? We think we know. I know that I can give you tons and tons of labels about who I am. I'm a mom, I'm a grandmother, I'm an aunt, I'm a cousin, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter, I'm a friend, I'm a coach, I'm a resident, I'm a neighbor, I'm a horse lover, I love to ride, I'm a light worker, I'm a team leader, I'm a team member. I can give you all kinds of titles that I give myself. And then there are titles that people give us. They're titles that people give us. And we have to agree with them. And the more we agree with them, the more we try to, or the more effort we make, and the more we can walk in those agreed roles and labels and titles and names that we acknowledge and we are aware of and we agree with. Now, if somebody, asked me if I was a plumber, Gene, hello, I heard you were a plumber. And I would have to say, oh, no, I'm not a plumber. No, that's not one of my roles. It's not one of my titles. You got the wrong number. So I couldn't walk in that. I wouldn't even want to pretend to be that. Now, some of the things that we call ourselves to be are, we're just if we really were honest about it, we would say that, well, I'm a better sister than I am a better friend, or I'm a better cousin than I am a better baker or cook. I'm a better light worker than I am maybe a horseback rider or bowler or whatever. So some things in some of our roles and some of the titles and some of the names that we give ourselves and some of those titles that we wear, those hats that we wear, we're better at some than we are of others. But I think one of the main things I want to kind of focus on tonight is not so much all the titles. Because we know we understand that. Hopefully we understand that we have many, many different roles and many different hats we wear, many different titles that we name, many different titles and names that we use to identify ourselves and to be identified by. But tonight, what I want to do, I want to just put this out here, and that is, basically, do you know who you are? But who gives you, how do you agree on those names? How do you agree on those titles and those roles? And I think tonight I want to focus more on the one name or the one source that is hopefully should be undeniable by any of us. It should be the name given to us by our father or our parent. And I'm going to go a little bit deeper because and we're moving into spirituality, because we know our parents, we know our earthly parents, we know their names, we know a lot of things about them. We know the family history, the family tree. We know where grandma was born. We know, how many aunts and uncles how many aunts and uncles our grandparents had, how many sisters and brothers our moms and dads have. We know, we understand that. We know, but talking about spirituality, that spiritual part of us, who does God call us? Who does Source call us? Who does Father call us? Now, I want to just kind of give you a little bit of background about me. I grew up in, I'm what they call a missionary kid, because my grandmother was a missionary. She founded churches. She was church planner. Her family planted churches. So I grew up in the Christian church. I grew up as a Christian believer, going to church every Sunday and Wednesday and on Saturday, helping with the lawn and helping clean up and getting the service. I was a PK, MK. I wasn't a PK. Well, we had PKs, we had preachers in the family, but my mom wasn't a but my grandparents were. My grandparents were ministers and parents, so I was considered a missionary kid. So I'm steep in background, I'm steep in Bible study, and I'm steep in knowing all those wonderful Bible stories and all those sermons. And I probably have to type up a few for the pastor here and there, and keeping up with those kind of things. So I have a real good solid background of Christianity, religion, church, taking care of the church, being a good church member, being a good church officer, being a good Sunday school teacher. All those things I do, and they say, that, hey, read the Bible. We got read the Bible through every year. Well, guess what? I read the Bible through every year, every many times through the years. Okay, so I know the stories, and I can probably quote them, and I can probably tell you where they are in the book, and I can, just rattle them off, and I can probably almost find them all, most of them. But that's fine. That's cool. That's all right. That's kind of good. But that is not what this my spirit guys, the spirit team, my spirit team. That's not that's not what that's not where we're going with this shift that we're making. It's not about religion. In fact, tonight is probably the only time that you'll hear me even refer or compare or bring that to your attention in regards to me, because I think that over the years, and especially since I've developed such a close relationship with my spirit team and my spirit guide, and angels and ancestors and all, I've moved away from traditions, conventions, religions, and I've moved closer into the spirituality, the the source. I've moved closer to source, because I know for a fact, if I that the only religion, if there was a religion, the only the only tradition or convention or constant vein in spirituality for me is love. Love. So if somebody asked me today, what is my faith? What is my belief? What is it that I believe? I believe in love. I believe that that's who we are. That's what is expected of us. That's what we can count on. That is the lifeblood of spirituality. That's the Christness. That's the Christness of the belief. So I believe in love. That's the only part of that. That's the only tradition, or only convention that you'll hear me talk about, almost to the fault of being a religion, or almost to the fault of being a tradition. But it's not, love isn't either one of those, but love is very, very, very much connected to spirituality. So you'll hear me talking about that. You'll also hear me talking about some of my spiritual team, my spiritual guides, my spiritual leaders. One of them you'll hear me talk about is Neville Goddard. In fact, tonight I was going to read one of his lectures, one of his sermons, but I kind of decided that instead I was going to save that for another time, because I kind of want to kind of lay out, the direction where the shift that we're making, and the direction that we're going to be taking you over the next, going forward. And until the team gets together and do another shift. This is, um, they are my guide, and my intuition and my heart and my spirit is following their lead, and I trust them. I've been very, very close to the spirit team over the past 6 or 7 years. I've gotten closer, and they haven't led me wrong, had led me stray yet. Just bringing me, keeping me centered, keeping me grounded, keeping me moving forward, helping me understand and evolve into what I truly believe Father and Source would have me be, helping me understand that connection between Source, how to maintain that connection, how to be strong in that connection, how to come back, and how to listen to my heart, listen to my intuition, and follow the lead of that, I call it my guidance, my GPS, my guiding principle system that leads me, spiritual, that leads me into that pathway. So I'm going to be sharing quite a bit of information from the teachings of some of the guys that I follow and I lead, and I've been studying and reading under. And Neville got it. And I've talked about Neville before. Neville is part of my spirit team. And we have a lot in common, Neville and I. He was a preacher. He was one of those kids that grew up in the church too. And he had to go to, Bible school, Catholic school, and he had to have, he learned all those, the same. Probably had the same kind of curriculum, if you would, going, in school. It's, Christianity and understanding and Bible studies was definitely part of our daily routine. It was not a day that would go by that we weren't, versed in that or had that class. Okay. And Neville too. So Neville's teachings they resonate with me because, they just resonate with me. And as I go along, I'll probably share why and how and in what way they do. But I'll share a little bit about his teachings and how they have impacted my life and the understanding from that perspective. And again, it's not about religion. We're not, and I hope I won't be offending anyone or have anybody feeling any kind of way, other than it's a matter of just spirituality. It's a matter of, I don't know if God had a religion. I don't know. I don't know if Jesus had a religion. I don't know that either. I don't think so. I think they're only, if it was a core belief, it was just love. We're commanded to love. We're commanded to love one another as we love ourselves and love God, because there is only one God and one Lord, one source. We call God by many names, but one. I have friends that are from all different religions, if you would. And when we talk and I hear them talk and I hear them share about source or God or creator or divine, it sounds the same. The core of it all is spirituality. And the core of spirituality is love. So you'll hear me talking a lot about love, but you'll also hear me talking, from the Christian perspective. I know very little about, the Torah and the Quran and all. I don't know a whole lot about those. I'm aware of them, but I can't teach in those veins. But I can, I can share from the perspective of the Bible. And I don't think that the Bible, again, has a specific, other than the fact that it's Christ-based, because it is the story of Christ. It is the story of the knowledge of God. It is the story of the nature and the attributes of God. And I will say this about the Bible, and I, again, hope I don't offend anyone or get, tossed out because I'm the baby in the tub. But I hope you understand that the Bible is, I don't treat the Bible as history. I never have, even before, I'd say shifting into the perspective of Christianity, of spirituality, rather than away from religion. Even as a religious student, as a religious attender, a member of a religious institution or establishment, I never believed or never looked at the Bible as a history or a chronological story. I was always taught, and my grandmother taught us this. She helped me understand that the Bible is a story about the life of God and God's children and God's family, and what God wants and expects and want us to understand about who we are and who He is or God is. And it's not a story per se about real flesh and blood people like you and I. They are attributes or characteristics of people, or I call them like Neville call them states of people. The characteristics, all of the characters in the Bible for me were just that. They were characters, but my grandmother helped me understand that they had characteristics or attributes or character traits that we look for in our lives, because what was happening in their lives, in the stories, in that wonderful beautiful story in the Bible, those beautiful stories, and it was kind of like a blueprint, or a operating manual, if you would, for us, to help us understand life and understand it not so much in the mental or in the intellectual or in the mind, but it was spiritual. It was spiritual, because I was taught that the Bible was inspired. It was in the words and the stories and the characters and the states and all those beautiful stories in the Bible were inspired stories, and they had a purpose. They had a purpose for us to live in live spiritually. And it was for the spirit man. It was for the spirit man, because that's why a lot of things you read in the Bible is like, how in the world does that happen? Well, because it was, it's, and they didn't make sense, or they didn't, what does all this mean? And then, of course, when you're growing up and you got the thee and the thou and the all yay and the nay and all those things, it was like, you know, we had to have a lesson on a lesson just to understand, what those words meant. And thank goodness, my parents were, again, missionaries, and they were bent and determined that we were going to understand the Word of God, and the Word and the knowledge of God. So, of course, they helped us get through that. They helped us get through and get an understanding of that. And that was my foundation, and that will always be my base foundation. And you're going to hear me talk again and share a lot about, going forward. Hear me share more stories about the foundation that I received growing up, and hopefully it will help. I'll be able to share with you how it has molded and formed who I am today, because it was very, very basic foundation of who I am is there, and it will probably always be there. But I'm growing, and with the help of the help and just the love and the just the patience and the love and the care of my spirit team, I'm evolving and I'm growing, and that's the name of the game. I mean, we're here, to grow, and we're here to evolve. I'm not what I was a year ago. I'm not what I was 5 years ago. I'm not what I was when I was a little girl. And if I live to see another 5 years or 10 years or 20 years or whatever, I won't be the same next year that I am today. Or I'll be even more different. I'll be different tomorrow than I am today. So we're growing and we're evolving. So I'm going to be sharing that, and sharing that understanding with you, and helping you understand who I am, and using that same foundation to share with you, to help you also understand who you are. Because the bottom line is, it's only one God, one Lord, one God, and we're all, no matter what you call God, no matter what you call Jehovah, Jehovah Jireh, whatever, Sam, Fred, Bob, creator, divine, universe, whatever you call your source, the creator, it's one. And we just have many names for the same God. Many names for the same God. And that I always understood, and that I always believed. And that is basically the foundation of where I believe that my spirit team, spirit team wants to take us going forward, and at least helping me share with you what spirituality that we are spirit. We are spirit, and it's all about spirit. We're in this beautiful, wonderful creation, this universe, this world that we live in is created for us to enjoy and to experience and to grow and to evolve. And we're going to be doing that together going forward. Going forward. So tonight, if I would ask you, who does God call you? Who does God say you are? That is the most important. That's the most important identity that any of us will have. And I'm gonna hope. Well, I'm gonna ask you to kind of meditate on that, kind of think about that over the next few days until next week, till I'm back here with you again next week. We'll talk a little bit more about what God says, who God says you are, because part of your identity is the part of my purpose, and one of my mission and my purpose is to express and explain and proclaim and teach and help us understand who, what, and whose we are, who we are, and not just by your name, not just what you do, but who you truly are, and then what you are. And I will tell you that as you evolve, you will realize that you are much more. You are much more than you could ever think that you are. And who you are will probably amaze you when you really, 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 without a doubt, know who you are. And whose you are is going to be off the chain, because whose you are is only one. And when you realize the omnipotence and the power and the love and the grace and the mercy that's tied up in that, and that you are, because God is, you are what you are, who you are, because of whose you are. You would not be who you are and what you are if you were not God's. And I remember one of the names, that titles or roles that my grandparents, my mom gave us, my grandmother mainly gave us growing up. She called us little godlings. You're just little godlings. And when she helped us understand the power in the name and the power in the identity of God, we were little, I don't know, we were little godlings, because she convinced us. She had us without a doubt knowing whose we were, and having us understand who God was made it even more amazing for us that our Father was God, the creator of everything that we could see, and everything that we could imagine, and everything that we couldn't see, and everything that we couldn't imagine. That we were made out of this. We were that's who we were. And of course, we realized that we can do stuff that we can do things that we don't even know we can do. We can have things that we can't even imagine today. And it just kind of made us excited, because we knew that every day we could discover something new and different, because we knew she had us. We knew who God was to us when we were kids. We tend to forget, growing up, and we kind of lay it aside and go on our merry way, and because but we come back. And of course, here I am back again. And I will say that I love the idea of being a little godling. And I appreciate and I honor my parents for helping us not only believe that, but know it and live a life of godlies, little godlings. So I'm going to hopefully share some of those experiences with you, tell you some of my personal stories about growing up and helping, reading to my grandmother and helping her in the, mow the lawn, cook the meals for the pastors and the preachers and get ready for the revivals and, uh, scraping gum off the floor at the church, just kind of share some things with you, some fun things with you, and also some serious, I don't say serious because spirituality, it's just real, but I think that we should be a little bit more joyous about it and not walk around with frowns on our faces, but be joyous and happy because I believe that the Spirit is a jolly spirit. I think that the Holy Spirit is a jolly spirit, jolly Holy Spirit. We used to be so stern about it, but I enjoyed growing up, being a little godling and thinking about, you know, who my who my father, who my God, who my father was. That was exciting for me. I don't think I have any more I want to share tonight, but I think that next week what I want to do is I want to share a one of the sermons by Neville Goddard, and he talks about. Let me see if I can get the title here because I want to make sure that I get this. Because I would encourage you to pull it, to find it and read it. You can get it online on a PDF. But it's one of Neville's sermons, and the title of the sermon was "The True Knowledge of God," and it was written. I mean, he delivered this message in November 1969. Let's see here, yeah, 1969. He delivered this message, and it's basically talking about it. It introduces us to who we are, and he talks. He shares. He introduces us to our, I call it our Savior, our Lord and Savior, or our Lord Jesus Christ. He introduces Jesus. Um, he talks about Jesus, and he talks about how Jesus was bold enough to proclaim that he was the Son of God. And he helps in the sermon, helps us understand the significance, the magnificence. I'm going to say not even the magnificence of that understanding, and that 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 Jesus was the demonstration. He calls it the true knowledge of God was Jesus Christ. But he talks about how Jesus demonstrated who he was. He demonstrated the God that he was. He demonstrated that. He was the embodiment of God. And he was our example because so are we. We are, and this is what grandmother will help us understand. We are also the embodiment of God. And I think when we really wrap our head around that and our minds around that and our hearts, lined up with that, and our spirit raises up. We wake up that spirit in us, and that it stir that spirit aware and awake, so that our spirit can be the leader of our lives. We're going to be off the chain master manifestors. We're going to be off the chain creators. We're going to be off the chain God children, godlings, however you want to call it, baby Christ, Jesus Christ, whatever. Well, we're going to be off the chain when we understand Jesus. To me, the story of Jesus and the story of Christ in the Bible is one of the most remarkable stories to me. And it tells us so much about who we are. Now, let's be clear. I'm not talking about some person out there. I'm talking about that person inside of us, that Christ inside of us, that God inside of us. If you're thinking that I'm going to talk to you about some God out in space, or some God sitting on over the clouds, or on a hill somewhere, or in some place outside of me, called heaven, or some kingdom on a hill, or in some faraway land, that's not the God that I'm going to be talking to you about. That's not the Jesus Christ that I'm going to be talking to you about. I'm going to be talking to you about you you and me and them and they and all of us who are the embodiment of Christ, the embodiment of God. We are, it's expected of us. It is expected, not only expected, we will demonstrate. We will, like Christ, like Jesus, we will demonstrate. We will demonstrate God on this earth, in this flesh, in the body. And and we have plenty of time. We know nobody's rushing us. Nobody's rushing us, because that life that's inside of us is going to live forever. It's an infinite life. God is that source. God lives on the inside of us forevermore. So we're not in any big rush. We're going to get it, but we will get it. Everything that was written about Jesus in the Bible, in those scriptures, in the Word, or I'm going to use another name, Muhammad. All those names. Those persons that were the embodiment of God on this earth. Well, you know what? We will become, and we will demonstrate. We will have all of those demonstrations. The resurrection, yes. We're gonna, yeah, before it's said and done, we're gonna have all of those wonderful experiences and demonstrations that Jesus had. None of us will none of us will return to the sender until we have done so. All right. We're here to demonstrate God in this dimension, in the flesh. In the flesh. So we're gonna be, that's where I'm kind of all over the place a little bit, because I'm still trying to get a grasp of exactly what the spirit team has in mind, and has in store for us. But I think it's going to be a great adventure, and I think it's going to be a wonderful, because again, those stories in the Bible, and it just they were awesome to me. And again, I can only speak from the perspective of the Bible, because I don't know enough about the Torah and the Quran. But I'm told, from friends of mine and people that I know, Jewish people and Muslim, that it's so very similar. I know people that I know, Indians, American Indians, their gods, or their names for God is the same. The sun, and God created everything anyway, so it's all the same. But we'll pull it together. We'll pull it together. Give me a minute or two, because I am, I'm I'm a manifestation guru, and I'm into that. But who the master, the most magnificent, and the master of manifestors in my book, in my opinion, of all times, Jesus the Christ he was a he was the bomb when it came to metaphysics and manifestation. You know, turning water to wine, making walking on water. Hey, come on, yeah. We're gonna be sharing some of those stories, and we're gonna find out how he did that, how he demonstrated. And yes, you can do it too. We're gonna find out exactly what it all meant. And again, I'm not talking about any. It might sound woo woo, and it might sound a little bit over and beyond our heads, but you know what? It is above your head. It's a spiritual thing, and spirit and body, and spirit and flesh are two different, totally different entities, two totally different beings, if you would. We are a human being. We are a spiritual being. So we're going to be talking about the difference between the two and the meeting of the two, the joining of the two, the coming together of the two. That's where we're going to go. But all of it is necessary for creating, for manifesting and creating. And we're going to share over the next, I don't know, few weeks, few months. I don't know how long. However long it takes, we're on our way. But thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I will plan to see you again next Thursday for our next session. And again, we're going to be talking about the true knowledge of God. We're going to be talking about how we demonstrate God in the body, in the flesh, how we demonstrate spirituality in our bodies, with our bodies. It's part of our bodies. That's all I have tonight. I will see you all next week. Oh, but Sunday at 11 o'clock, we're going to have our first Sunday morning spiritual celebration at 11 o'clock. Invite you. It's going to be on our Zoom platform. I will post a link on the Facebook page and also on the Instagram page, and also here on this page we'll post a link here, a message here, so that you can join us at 11 o'clock on Sunday. I'll see you then, and until next week, manifest best, and remember, there is only one God. It's one God. You can call God any name you want to call God, but only one God, one Lord, and we're all part of that. That's the source. We are the Father. We're the children of that one God, and we're one family. We're all one. And hopefully we're going to understand that as we go along, going forward. But until next week, manifest best. Remember that I love you because you are loved, you're lovable, and you are loving. So see you next week. Manifest best. Good night.